Hey guys, Bill Watson with Brighter Image Lab. Today we're going to talk about a product that I've been telling you about a little bit at a time, but we're finally bringing it out. And I've got a surprise. Today I have a dental hygienist with me, a dental hygienist from Texas and California. Her name's Chelsea. One of the things we wanted to do today is talk about our new Bilistic professional dental polisher. It's a product that is sensitive to me. It's hard for me to talk about because it means so freaking much to me. I wanted to be able to look back and remember that when we first started talking about polishers, the first thing we did was get people that could help educate. And that's why I want you to get to know Chelsea. Today, we want to talk about tooth polishers, not only as being a part of what you use to manicure your image, but where they're at, what's the experience at a dentist office, and why it is that you don't know more about it. One of the things I'm going to say is you haven't used our product. I think you've seen it.
Yes.
So I don't really know a lot about what you're going to say.
You can get some real-time feedback.
First thing they're going to ask is, who are you and what are you about? What brought you here today?
Well, I've been a dental hygienist almost 7 years. I started in Georgia where I got my degree, then moved to California because I wanted to learn more. And then from California, I ended up coming out to Texas. I grew up here, so I always knew I'd come back. So I've started in practices where they didn't have much, and I've introduced new products into different offices, and I really just am continuing to grow in whatever can serve my patients and really have patients be part of the decision in their health.
Does everybody call and say, I just want my teeth polished?
Not just polished, but that's the favorite feel is after the polishing.
I guess the time that I went, I was worried about why people don't want the polisher more.
Well, the polisher can burnish calculus, which is the hard bacteria on the teeth. So ideally, clinically, you want to remove that first. However, we do also use polishing for prepping the tooth for whitening, and the purpose of polish is to remove biofilm. So it really restarts the healthy bacteria cycle in the mouth. People
who hadn't already had their teeth professionally cleaned want to polish their teeth anyway. I have a lot of listeners that haven't been to the dentist unless it's pain or trauma. The ideal client for these are people who have a manicured image, that have their teeth cleaned twice a year, that just want an advantage. And 1%, 2%, 3% makes a big difference at a high level. I thought if I could bring this polisher to a person's home and to their family, it's generally a home that has all the advantages already. They have all the extras. But I do know that what you were talking about is the concern is to try to bypass some things. They just want to feel that polishing. And I don't know how they don't ask about it. Just to come up.
Well, I've never had anyone ask for it specifically. However, they're quick to say they don't like the scratching. They don't like the water instrument that sprays around, and they love the feeling after the polishing. It hasn't been that specific, but if you narrow it down, it has been.
I've been to the hair salon where I see people fight about products. You know, like if you're using it on me, I want this to be mine. And I don't know how they get away with that at the dentist office. In the past, I talked to a couple of doctors, and they said, we just don't want anybody doing anything away from us if they're our patient. But I would think from a hygienist point of view, I'd be like, man, where'd I get one of these? I would be just asking, where do you get one? We've seen other polishers, but they weren't of any quality. When I did this, we went through a lot of tooling to be able to make it steel. And then it was tough to get it to go stainless steel. So, first time you've seen it?
First time I've seen it.
That's crazy. How many people would bring a hygienist on and go, we're gonna show it to you when you get here. Let me give you the speed on this.
This is what I've been waiting for, by the way, is to play with this. It's already lighter than what I use, and it doesn't have the weight of our cord in the office, which is nice.
People do ask me about the batteries and about cordless. And the reason why we put the cord on is because we want to keep these affordable. Some people will use these very lightly for themselves. You know, be careful when you use this because you can hurt yourself with the polisher. Don't try to overdo it.
Yeah. What setting is that?
It has a variable setting. That's probably the max setting, and then that's the minimum. Starts and it goes low, and then you can go way far. One of the things about this polisher is it's incredibly strong. And the reason being is for other purposes that have nothing to do with teeth polishing. In the future, we hope to be able to use it for different things like denture polishing and stuff like that, which takes different tools and different add-ons and different connections. But for this purpose, we have two colors here. From 0 to blue is our recommended area. Once you go past that, it's for other uses. So we ask everybody not to go any higher than somewhere right in here. But everyone will adjust it to whatever they need, whatever they feel like their reasons are. When I manufactured it, even the manufacturer goes, let's custom build you a tip. They wanted me to put my own tip on it so that people couldn't put a tip on it from anywhere else. And we thought about that. But we wanted for people to have a relationship with their dentist. And if they're getting their teeth cleaned, then they'll say, is there any way I can buy some prophy heads from you? And I also thought it would give them confidence in purchasing. Earlier, before we got started, they were giving me some talking points. And they said 43% of the people have their teeth cleaned regularly at a dentist office. 43% seemed high to me. And the reason why I think it seems high is most people can't tell you the name of a dentist. The way the dentist office is constructed, the way you meet the dentist, fill out all your paperwork, and then you have to go through x-rays and stuff. Then you get handed treatment plans. I think that's an unapproachable process.
I think it's just people aren't asking those questions or thinking outside the box. And with dentists, they're not taught anything about business when they're in school. So unless their undergrad is business, they're just really doing kind of the same thing that everybody else has done. And some of them trying to tweak it so that financially it makes sense, especially now.
This is one that we had made for us. And so I'm real proud of it. You want to try this? There's the tip that goes with that.
Do you want me to use it on this?
Yeah, I think. Does it feel the same? Feel weird?
It feels stronger and more solid than what I use.
Would you turn it down? Or would you leave it that speed?
I'd probably turn it down just a little bit. I can feel it pulling against the tooth. Yeah, that's good. Because the other thing that we do when we are polishing in office is we're looking at flaring the tip so that it goes a little bit underneath the gum line, because that's a lot of times where bacteria hangs out. And then making sure that we hug the tooth and go around the sides of the teeth, because that's also a hard place for people to clean.
So you try to make sure you use a prophy head that flares?
And it's really just a matter of pressure, right? So some are really soft, like some of the cheap ones are really, really soft. They'll actually break apart. Some of them are really, really firm. But if you apply just a little bit of pressure, it can, this is pretty firm, so I can't really flare underneath, but yeah.
Is it different prophy paste than you used to?
Ours has a bunch of grit, and it makes little micro etches in the tooth. And at least to my knowledge, that's what helps to prep the tooth for whitening and then also for fluoride.
They're gonna ask you, what does this thing feel like? What do you think about it?
It feels really balanced when I hold it. It feels really solid. I can feel the power when you turn it on. So it's really strong, so that's, definitely be more careful when you're using the higher settings. Well, and with this one, it doesn't really have the grit in it, and the grit, along with the power and the rotation, is what can really traumatize the tissue, and or the root surface if it's exposed. But most people aren't gonna really know the difference between their root showing in their tooth, right? They're gonna think it's their tooth and it's just turned dark around the gum tissue, not realizing that that's actually the root surface showing. And if you take a gritty polishing paste, it could really wear down the root surface, whereas this is really smooth. So it would have less of an effect on the root itself.
Some clients, the only cleaning they get is their toothbrush. And we wanted the best organic products that we could that could be absorbed by the tooth for cleaning. We spent hours and hours and hours and hundreds of hours making sure that we didn't compromise the end result, which is polished teeth. But at the same time, not giving them something they go, oh my God, I wish I had done that. Because people can over polish their teeth. But teeth bleaching is not paint. And that's why we wanted to use a serum to keep the calculus from forming or to soften calculus over a period of time.
Well, and if you partner it with softening bacteria with the power of this, I can see how that would easily remove it.
My hope is that you think that this serum that we use is incredible. Right now, I think it's a good time for me to take a break so I can let Chelsea actually use our polisher. And then we're gonna see what she thinks about it. And then when I'm back, we will pick up from there. And hopefully with some good news. So I'll see you in a minute.
So I'm just like, after I was using the polisher, I was comparing how my top teeth felt with my bottom teeth, and now I want to use it on my bottom teeth. As I had stated earlier after I got done with the testing that I'm afraid that it feels cleaner than when I clean people's teeth. Now it has been a while since my own teeth have been cleaned, but yeah, I was very impressed. My biggest concern going into it is because it's a strong tool, was how that was gonna feel. Because even patients with like the Oral-B toothbrush or the round-headed toothbrushes, they oscillate, but a lot of them also pulsate a little bit, so it can feel kind of aggressive. So that was a little bit of my concern going into it. But I was actually really impressed. It was really smooth. It didn't flick things everywhere, which is another thing I was thinking is how am I gonna keep this clean? So yeah, overall, I'm very impressed with the use of it, and it makes me wanna finish the rest of my teeth now. Oh, there's always room for improvement and things. So I gotta do 4.5. Well, if they're looking for something to clean more or better, really, the polisher is a great option. Don't change out your toothbrush though. So if you wanna go to the next level, really, and clean, if you wanna go to the next level and getting your teeth whitened, this is an incredible product to add to your bathroom. My name is Chelsea Veal. I'm a registered dental hygienist in the state of Texas and California.
Hey guys, I'm back. So let's find out what you think. I hope you got to use our polisher.
I did, Bill. I was really impressed. Bill, I think you have a really amazing product. When I used it, I was a little concerned about the power because it is a high-powered, strong instrument, but really, I had no concerns as soon as I touched my tooth. It was really easy, it was really smooth, it didn't feel aggressive. Overall, I was really impressed. I'm still licking the top teeth at how smooth they are compared to my bottom teeth, and I told your team that I need it now to use for the rest of my teeth.
Let me ask you, what do you think about the serum?
I thought the serum was great. It was really smooth. The flavor was actually really good.
Tastes good,
Afterwards, yeah, I asked the team and she said it was some kind of an almond mint flavor that you had, so it was really nice and subtle. Yeah, I definitely went a little slower, but that's also what I'm accustomed to doing in the chair because in my brain, the pace is grittier than what this is. This was really smooth. But as soon as I used it, I mean, it was so easy and that's so light.
I wholeheartedly appreciate you coming today. But with that, for you to be able to say, I benefit from a polish, my teeth feel better. Imagine the average Joe that just wants to feel better. If anybody asks me what we do more than anything, is I think we change the level of confidence that they have in themselves. Today was a good day. You've helped me a ton.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. Guys, we're gonna wrap it up. Remember, if you have any questions for me or Chelsea, we'll do what we can to get them answered. Any thoughts that you may have about polishing, or whether you knew about it or didn't know about it, at least you know more about it if you were gonna do it. Let me know what you think. We'll talk to you next week. Thank you guys.